Good morning, beloveds. Happy New Year. It is officially 2026. And has been for, 9 hours. We did actually watch the, New Year thing. We didn't watch the ball drop because that was on the other channel, but we did see we were up at midnight. So far, I got up and went for a walk. That's about what I've done today. And the good news is the only thing I have to do today, well, no, there actually isn't anything I have to do today. I get to watch the Rose Parade. I get to hang out with my cats today, and I get to eat pancakes because I have pancakes in the freezer. So, all right, we are doing a new design for living, and part of the reason why I chose it is because, it was fairly close to the new year, and I thought this would be a good time to start this. And so we are doing that, but let's do the housekeeping really quickly, and all the housekeeping is me reminding you, we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. The website is creativelife.org. The constant contact email, info@creativelife.org. If you get on that mailing list, you get 1 email a week. Unless something unusual happens, I will point out we do live on the Gulf Coast. Like today, the low was 36. The high is going to be 74. That made for fog. So it's a real person doing the email. He does not have time for more than that. So like I said, it has to be something unusual for you to get more than one. The hot links are hot, which means click here now. We'll either take you right to the information of the person that can help you get it. I think I already said that it tells you what's going on for the week and the month. And it's a blind CC. That means nobody is going to see your email. You won't end up on anybody else's email list because of us. So there's that. Now, the last thing I'll mention is the social media, merely from the standpoint of we do not monetize the social media. We don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do. So what we ask you to do instead is to engage with the pages. Like, subscribe, follow based on which platform you are on, because we're on several of them. And then engage with the individual posts by commenting, sharing, and reacting to those. Bumps us in the algorithms, more people see our stuff. In the end, that is the goal of social media. So here we are. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center or Creative Life Spark, based on which platform you are on. And I am running Rev Ryan across all of the platforms that I am on. So it is a free and easy way that you can support the center. Feel free, and all it costs you is the click. So there we go. All right, moving on. So new design for living. It was written towards the end of his life. It does appear to be kind of a summary, or as Jesse likes to say, a process. That is what, when we pray for things, the universe doesn't just hand us things. What it does is it hands us a process. Well, that is what this is. This is a process. Ernest has some really good processes. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been in this teaching for over 20 years now, which is shocking to say. Yeah, over 20 years. So let's get on with this. I only put one title in the comment because it's a somewhat long one. And then we'll see. If I do two, then I'll go edit the title. All right. But today we are going to talk about plus and minus thinking, which I think is a good topic for New Year's Day. So, plus and minus thinking. It would probably be correct to say that every thought we have is in some way and to some degree created. What we need to do is add them up, plus and minus, and see what kind of total we get. Do we think one thought of health during the day and the rest of the time concentrate on our aches and pains? Do we toss off a quick prayer at night in the hope it will compensate for all we may have done wrong during the day? We need to consider our thought as a pair of scales. One side good, the other side bad. Through our thinking, which side are we adding to? The side with the greatest weight is that which we have selected to experience. In this respect, and in so much as every thought is creative, every thought may be considered a form of prayer. Remember I said pray without ceasing within the last couple of days? That's what he's talking about. Every thought has the potential to be creative. And it is the trend of your thoughts, the pattern of your thoughts. I hadn't thought about it by scale, but he's absolutely right. When you look at the Egyptian, the Book of the Dead, they talk about that, where they weigh your heart. They weigh your heart. How many sins do you have on your heart? And if your heart weighs more than a feather, which is terrifying, right? Then they throw your heart to the hippopotamus-headed one, and she eats it. And then you don't get to go to the afterlife. So, that's what he's talking about here. He's talking about the trend of your thoughts. We don't have to get bent out of shape about each individual thought. But as he said, do we toss up a quick prayer at the end of the night, hoping to make up for all the stuff that we didn't do during the day, or the stuff that we did wrong? Or do we do one prayer about health and then spend all day complaining about our aches and pains? Okay, so here we are. We need to consider our thought as a pair of scales, one side good, the other side bad. Through our thinking, which side are we adding to? The side with the greatest weight is that which we have selected to experience. In this respect, insomuch as every thought is creative, every thought may be considered a form of prayer. From this point of view, what is the nature of our prayers? Do they affirm or deny the good we desire? Prayer is only a form of thought. And negative prayers can create negative experiences. This has been dramatically proved by the research work of Professor William R. Parker of Redlands University. In his investigation into prayer therapy, he has discovered that unless prayer is positive, it may be dangerous. The thoughts or desires we hold eventually conquer and control our lives. Wow. And that's in a quote. So that's really cool. It's like he did a lot of research when he was writing this book. So he's bringing in the scientific backing, because he's quoted physicists and physiologists, and this is really cool. In considering our world of the mind, its nature, and how it works, we find ourselves faced with the necessity of being ever on our guard as to what we permit ourselves to think. This does not mean that we limit our thinking or bar ourselves from growth or new ideas. We have to continually expand our ability to think and encounter new ideas. It's one of the reasons why I like to read. I'm always encountering new ideas when I read. And I like to read all kinds of books, so. But we do not have to entertain those ideas which are negative, which deprive us of happiness, create ill health, or limit our bank account. We cannot help thinking, but we can learn to think in a way that is for our betterment rather than our detriment. And that right there is pretty much the backing of science of mind. If we could be said to, because we don't teach you what to believe, we do teach you how to believe, but we remind you, hey, you know what? Let's focus more on the positive. Yeah, we got to deal with the stuff. We've got to deal with the stuff. We've got to make plans. We've got to have contingency plans, but we don't have to focus on that. We can focus on the good. We can focus on the things that go right. We can focus on, what is working and make that work better. And I think that really is the goal in the end, is let's focus on what is working and make that work better, and let go of the stuff that isn't working. So, it really is, as he says, we can't help thinking. That's just part of our nature. But let's focus our thinking, and let's focus Because where your attention goes is where your power goes. So let's focus on what we want. Let's focus on the good. Let's focus on what is working. Let's focus on making that work better. And let the rest of it go. Not only can we learn to think in this way, it is our obligation to ourselves, to others, and to our Maker to do so. We have no right, deliberately or unconsciously, to deprive the life within us of the fullest possible expression or bar ourselves from the abundance of all good things which are ours for the accepting. So we find ourselves confronted with the most fascinating and dramatic possibilities that life can offer. We have conscious access to a creative power which is ready, willing, and able to respond to us constructively, but which we may be using only to our detriment. Our conscious and specific use of it is limited to our awareness or understanding of it. This is not a unique thing, but applies to every law in nature. And when any law is used for the securing of certain results, it must be used in a specific and right manner. Spiritual and mental laws must be thought of in the same manner as any physical law. When we learn to do this, we will find that a new design for living will be created in our experience in a logical manner. The more we understand, the better use we will make of it. The better it, that's, you know, it's like, and I like that he said, you know, look, there is this creative power that is ready, willing, and able to respond to us. It's just waiting for us to figure it out. It's just waiting for us to accept it and to consciously use it. Because the truth is we are unconsciously using it all the time. So why not cooperate with it? Why not learn about it and cooperate with it and get into it, you know, doing it rationally and physically and, you know, logically, as he says, and fully express the life within us. Our life is our gift from our Maker, as he says, from the divine. What we do with it is our gift back to the divine. And if that doesn't rock you back on your heels, you're not paying attention. You're not paying attention. So that consciousness. If I could say, and I do say on a somewhat regular basis, some of the drum beats, I talk about the rhythms of science of mind. Well, that's one of them. Consciousness. That is a drum beat in science of mind. It's like you have this power. You're using this power. The more consciously you use it, the better your results will be. So, welcome to 2026. And that is what we're going to focus on this year. Consciousness, consciously using, consciously cooperating with the creative power within us to more fully express the life within us. There we go. I should write that down. All right, beloveds, I am now going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a do what you got to do day, a take some time for yourself day, a don't worry about the resolutions day, a you got an entire year to get it done day, a let's step this out on the correct foot for you day, a drink plenty of water day, go get the sunshine day, a call a good friend day, a cuddle with your fur babies day, a take some time just for you day, a eat something really amazing day, a whatever it is that you need to do, take today And take today as the gift that it is day. And then, as I always say, a good day. If that is too much pressure, I mean, it's the first day of 2026. It might be too much pressure. Simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are a brilliant light, a divine spark, spirit in motion, God in action, a beautiful masterpiece, and a work in progress at the same time, at your own pace. My favorite part of that sentence. And as Reverend Jesse likes to call it, you are a godling. So explore the truth of your being. Get to know who the divine knows you to be. Because the divine knows you to be good. And from there, anything is possible. Anything at all. All right, beloveds. So I assume Reverend David will be on around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you around 9-ish tomorrow.